Look at that pea. Look at that. That is so cool. These ones are getting peas on them too. Paulo is gonna try the very first pea of the season for us. You wanna take a bite? Just take a bite. It won't be gross, promise. What do you think? You like them? Should we grow more? Good morning, happy Saturday. So today is a really busy day. We have a ton of things that we have to get done, lots of projects, moving babies to different brooders. We've got to get things mowed and planted and cleaned up and just a lot done. It's gonna be mid-80s today. That's, I think, the warmest day we've had so far this year. So lots to get done. My allergies are already bothering me. My mouth itches, my throat itches, my nose itches. So we'll see how much I get to be outside and help today. I may cave and take allergy medicine. I really don't like doing that. It makes me really tired even when I take like a partial dose, but I might have to to be able to function. So we'll see how that goes. These babies are so ready for a bigger space. They're about a week old. They are doing great. We didn't lose a single one of them, even though they were shipped through the mail, which is really good. They're all really active. So today we are going to be shifting around some of the babies, and these guys get a brand new brooder. Hey babies, you guys want to come out? So, just gonna get this propped. Good morning. They like to go out and forage. Yes, good morning. Miss Coco leading the pack as usual. Here are the goslings. Good morning. They're getting so big. They grow really fast. Hi babies. I love their little noises. So the goslings are in here in this bigger chicken tractor. If you want to build one like this, I think we got it from Lemna Acres. I think that was their chicken tractor design. It's not perfect. There's things about it that we really actually don't love, but it works, and I actually really appreciate that we have it. We've used it for a ton of stuff over the last year. So these guys are going to come out and run around in this duck enclosure while the ducks are out. Kurt built this. It kind of is a modified version of that. He took the things about that one that we wished were different and made this one for us. So the guinea kids are actually going to come in here. We're going to hook up a heat lamp. See, these guys have a heat lamp right over here. We're going to hook one up over this so that they've got some warmth. Today's supposed to be like, I don't know, mid-80s. So we're going to go ahead and bring those guys out here so they have some more room. They have access to the rest of the flock. They'll see them and get used to them. This method works really well where we have whatever we're wanting it to introduce kind of separated by a screen or a fence line, and then that way they kind of get used to each other, and then we introduce, and there's usually really not much fighting. There can be a little bit more to the chickens, just that big one likes to nip at the little ones. But so we're gonna get the guinea kids moved out here, and I'm gonna get the goslings pulled out as soon as the kids come out after breakfast, because I don't want to climb in there and pull them out. See little Piper there, one of our little banties. She is hilarious. She has her own little noises that she makes, like that. You always know that's Piper. That noise specifically is her thing. But they like to come in our little side group that doesn't go with the main flock. They like to come in here during the day and eat any of the remaining food that maybe the ducks didn't get. They've actually started to lay back there where the ducks have been laying, and they just kind of hang out in here and make it their home. And then when these guys are out, we leave the top open, and the banties will fly in there and pick at their food and anything that they missed. It's kind of funny. They're like a little scavenger crew. The peas are coming along really nicely. All these little peas. I did come in and weed the other day right near them, but you can see there's still tons. But the row goes all the way down to about that T-post down there. There's some nasturtium mixed in, but I've only seen one of the nasturtium come up so far. I know that they're not going to come up as quickly as peas, but I might have to come in and redo some of the nasturtium. I love pea plants. I think they're so pretty. This is Thatcher's parsnips he's got in here. He's planted a couple more to fill in the spaces that didn't come up. Do you remember what variety of parsnip this was?
Well, the first kind was hollow crown, then the second kind that I did to fill in the spaces was...
So this is hollow crown? this is hollow crown? And then if the others come up, they're Harris model? Okay. Our first time trying to mess with parsnip. Thatcher's been wanting to grow them really bad, so we thought we'd give it a shot. I've got some calendula coming up here. And this calendula is special. It's calendula that a friend of mine, a very dear friend, harvested the seeds for it in Idaho and gave to me a couple of years ago. But it's all coming up. And then back here I've got a few cucumbers. They were coming up and we had some really cruddy weather and they didn't make it. So I've replanted them. Maybe that's one coming up right there. So hopefully we'll have cucumbers that can climb up this fence. That's what we did last year. Inara did cucumbers in one of our kiddie pools and they just kind of climbed up the fence behind them and that worked really well. So I thought I'd try it out this year with a bag. So we have some trees in our yard that have these helicopter seeds. I think this might be from our maple. But they are persistent little things. They're everywhere. And you can see this one. It's trying to sprout. And then we got some little ones over here that have sprouted. I mean, they're quick too. I set out some plants on the deck the other day. And I mean, that was about 3 days ago, I think. And they got a couple seeds in them that I didn't get pulled out. One of them had already sprouted. Not quite like this, but had definitely sprouted. So I had to pull that out. So these are prolific little things. I have little trees everywhere. But we have to pull out a lot of them because, well, we don't want little trees in our beds. Apollo is actually off collecting a bunch of these from me in the yard, and we're gonna spread them out in the far end of our pasture because we would like to have a wooded area, and on our property we don't right now, and so we figure we'll put those there. Any little trees that pop up somewhere that we don't want them, we're transplanting those down there. I've got some sassafras trees we're going to try to transplant that are growing under a power line. Not a good spot. So hopefully in a few years we'll have a little forest coming up down in the bottom of the pasture. Aww, the baby's making the noise. Yeah. The goslings are not sure they like them. The big one was hissing, so we'll see. See how the babies? Aww, honey, it's okay. You scared? Oh, poor baby. We're gonna get the rest of them put in here though. Hopefully they'll chill out once they're all in together. Hi, babies. The lighting in here makes it so hard to see. I'm sorry. Oh, it's still peeping. Hi. No babies? These guys grow faster than our chickens are growing, than our chicks are. They grow really quick. There you are. Well, the goslings came over and they're settling in. These guys are not quite settled. They're being a little bit loud. We're going to get their food and water in here ASAP. And hopefully they'll settle in and enjoy having more space. You see the babies are over in the corner to get away from the goslings. I think it's just going to take them a few days to get used to each other. I do find it kind of funny that the goslings are snuggled up so close to their enclosure. Yeah, what are you doing? Is this like an intimidation thing? They shouldn't be cold though. It is really warm out today. I think they'll be fine temperature-wise. I think that they're just alerting because they're in a new space and there's new animals really close. I don't think we've ever had this many of any one animal that looked exactly the same. We always get a variety with our ducklings and our chickens and everything, and so having 16 of them that look and sound exactly the same is really interesting because we've never had it before. Look at this. Oh, look at that butterfly. Isn't that pretty? These are our wild blackberries. They are all a-bloomin'. Look at this patch. A friend gave us some of her blackberries to grow, her little baby blackberries that were coming up this year. So we planted quite a few of them back here in a line. We need to get out here and mulch them better and get some of the weeds down. We mulched them when we first got them in, but they definitely need it again. Some of them are doing really well. Some of them didn't make it, and that's okay. We figured anybody that didn't make it, we would just go ahead when we eventually got runners from these, that we would just put them in that spot so it wasn't a big deal. Some of them are doing really, really well. Aren't they beautiful? And supposedly these will make really big, beautiful, yummy blackberries. I heard noise and I came over here and I startled them, I think. Hey guys! Ducks are very skittish. I know some people have some that aren't, but even though we try to handle ours and stuff, ours are crazy skittish. You can see here's more wild blackberry, and there's more over there. We actually have a ton of it. It grows all along our fence line everywhere. I'm a little concerned that it's going to cross-pollinate with our cultivated blackberries, and I don't know what that's going to do, so we'll just have to see. We're trying to go and find it all and get rid of it, but honestly it is a losing battle. It is everywhere on our property. There's just a ton of it, so we're just going to have to kind of see how that plays out. Here's some more multiflora rose. They have rose hips on them, which you can use. They're good for vitamin C and other things. They're not like the nice big rose hips, but they do have rose hips, so I'm trying to see the positive because it's everywhere and it's pokey and we don't really like it. But it's another one that is really, really hard to get rid of. Unfortunately, that didn't take as long as I would have hoped. I'm in Uncle. I've got to take some allergy meds or I'm not going to make it through the rest of the day. I have really bad allergies. And so I've got to take something or I'm really not going to be able to do anything outside. See, there we go. I'm going to take this half. If I take a whole, I will be incoherent and knocked out sleeping all day. This should hopefully help enough that I can get out and get some stuff done. I really don't like taking it, but I don't really have an alternative. Okay, I think my allergies have calmed down sufficiently enough. I think I'm ready to go back out, take another crack at it. This is the site of our future orchard. It's kind of a mess now, but we'll get it there. If you guys want a video about our orchard plans, let me know and I can do one. This whole section here, there's going to be different fruit trees and a few things like that. And we're also working on kind of like a bit of a barrier hedge, an edible one down that way. So it'll be really good. We're starting work on it. It's obviously not going to be done this year, but we do already have some trees that we're getting in and some other things on the way. So I think it'll be really, really neat. So yeah, if you guys want a video, let me know and I'll do one completely on the orchard. We rehomed his brother and his dad. And his dad, Alfred, was our big white naked neck. So that's Rebel. He doesn't have a name yet. So the younger roosters, the junior roosters, are kind of duking it out a little bit today to kind of see who's going to be in charge. That Sundancer over there, our bantam rooster. Unfortunately, Buck, our little bantam rooster, our Old English, he died a few weeks ago. It was really heartbreaking for me. He was my favorite rooster. He was my favorite chicken. I was pretty devastated. But he passed and he was one of the alpha roosters, so that shook things up a little bit in the ranks. And then with Alfred being gone, he was quite a bit bigger than the other chickens, definitely the alpha rooster. So with him being gone now, the boys are just gonna have to kind of resettle. Who's in charge? You can hear Rebel. He's crowing a lot, acting very bossy with the girls, lots of stomping and shuttling them other places, shuffling, shuttling. So I think he's kind of aiming for a top rooster, so we'll see who wins. He's a pretty boy. He's handsome, and he is young still, so as he gets bigger and older and fills out and gets more of his tail feathers, I think he's going to be a really stunning rooster. Just stunning. Lucy is not going to hurt you. My goodness. What was all that about? These two girls are some of our mixes. They are silky mixes, and I think that they turned out just so pretty. Hi, honey. We only got one with like the gray and the speckling, but I think she's adorable. They don't have names yet either. If you guys can think of any, I'd love to hear some suggestions. There's another one over there. She actually has lacing on her feathers. Purebred chickens, there's something to be said for that, you know. But I really am adoring some of these mixes that we've had. They're just so pretty and unique. Hi, girls. How you doing? And they're pretty chill. They're acting a little bit shook up today. I think it's just probably the roosters. Usually they're pretty chillaxed. So Miss Lucy came for her pets. Hi, honey. Such a sweet grandma kitty. Yes, she is. Yeah. Anytime I'm outside, if she hears me, she comes and finds me because she knows I'll pet her. She's a good girl. Yeah, she's a sweet girl. I'm letting all this beautiful kale go to seed. I'm hoping I will be able to harvest seeds from it to save. I think that'd be really, really cool So I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on it to guess when it might be ready for me to harvest. Definitely not yet, but you can see we're getting some bigger pods. I don't want to bother this little critter over here. But we're getting some bigger pods, so I'm just checking on it every day to keep an eye out. How big it got. Not huge. And it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So this is the red Russian kale or the ragged jack kale. It's called both. Here's the porch brooder. All 8 of those babies are ones that we hatched out a few weeks ago. They are super duper cute. They're all mixes. I think the only one that's in there is one of the chipmunky stripe looking little bitty ones. That one looks to be full Old English, but the rest of them are mixes. I think they're super duper cute. We've got some kind of like chocolatey brown colors coming in, some little black ones. So we'll just see what happens as they're getting older and feathering out. I'm hoping most of them are girls so that we can keep them. And Nara really wants the naked neck to be a girl because she wants to keep it, but we'll see. They're really cute. Hi, babies. I literally just had to hunt all over the house to find the camera. I set it down somewhere and I couldn't find it. So it's a little bit later in the day. It's after lunch. Everybody came in, they had lunch. I can't do a ton outside right now, so I'm cleaning up inside. Kurt's out mowing. We actually had a neighbor stop by and offer to come by sometime soon and bush hog part of our property. He saw Kurt out there trying to mow it down with the push mower, and I think he took pity on us. So the kids are outside right now playing with water guns. That was the deal. If they got some chores done outside in the morning, then after lunch they could go play with water guns. So they're outside getting soaked, having a good time, spraying all my windows. I don't know why they spray the windows, but they spray the windows. So they're out there having a good time while Kurt's mowing. I'm trying to get some stuff cleaned up. I have sourdough starting to get bubbly. I want to make sourdough pancakes for dinner. There's a recipe that I got from a friend several years ago and I love it. It's like my all-time favorite. So now that I have a start from a local friend, I've been feeding for about a week or so. So I'm hoping, since it's a warm day, it'll bubble up a little bit. I've got several hours to go. I might try to put it somewhere a little bit warmer, but fingers crossed for sourdough pancakes for dinner. Look at this, guys. Kurt just mowed all of this crazy grass with a push mower. Ruben was out here helping. They got all the spots staked out for our fruit trees. We're not going to be able to plant all of them this year, obviously, but we know where they're going to go. We put cardboard boxes on them to try to kill the grass, just like right around where we're staking them. It'll rain here in a few days, I'm sure, and it'll kind of tamp that down. I just randomly came up with that idea. Let me know what you think. Putting the cardboard boxes on the stakes like that to help kill grass. Anyway, so I'm excited. It's starting to come together. We've got to burn that mess. So we gotta burn that and do some digging and things, but it's coming together. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be really, really nice when it's all put in. So this comes in right on one of the tree lines. It's kind of a mess, really. We've got a bunch of stuff growing in here. We've dug out a bunch of garbage from here. There's quite the hill. There's burrows that go into this big hill. But we've got to clean this out. We have plans for this area. So there's going to be hopefully a fruit tree over here. And then one there and 2 more off that way, and then this area actually is going to be something else entirely. We've got to clean all this out. I don't even know how to. It's so crazy. Getting rid of all those trees is going to be so hard because they keep sprouting up. I think they're root propagated, so it's kind of crazy. But what are they? Are they sumac? I want to say they're a sumac. The boys insist that you can take the berries, and I think it's the berries, and make lemonade. I wouldn't let them last year because I wasn't sure, but they're very insistent, so I think it'll look really good though.